Welcome, everyone. I'm Christina Rodone with KTVU Fox 2 News in the San Francisco Bay Area for coronavirusnow.com. And joining us today is Ari Takata Vasquez. She's with Oakland Indie Alliance. You're the executive director of this organization. And we're bringing you on today because small businesses are really struggling right now in this COVID-19 pandemic. And a lot of them are just trying to figure out how they're going to get back to normal. Right? So tell us a little bit about your organization and what you guys do to start.
Absolutely. So we're about a 400 business operation. We are the only member-led and operated nonprofit tasked with helping independent local small businesses thrive. So we actually have been around for about 5 or 6 years now. And we've been really grateful to have this organization to help all of our businesses during this incredibly difficult time.
So what have you found when you're talking to local businesses in Oakland and, I'm sure it's the same across the country, no matter if it's Oakland or it's on the East Coast, a lot of businesses are struggling. Like, what are the stories that you're hearing?
It's definitely been a heart-wrenching time where we're seeing that a lot of businesses will have to drastically change their business models. They're having to pivot with less resources than they really need. The PPP loans, the EIDL loans either haven't been there, they haven't been enough, or they haven't been given expeditiously. So we're actually, as the Indie Alliance, along with the city, the business improvement districts, the chambers, we all are really stepping in to help support our local business community.
Okay. How exactly are you doing that? Can you expand a little? I mean, are you guys providing loans? Or are you just providing advice? Or how are you guys playing a role here?
Absolutely. So we're doing a few different things. So the first that we did off the bat, knowing that a lot of our businesses would need to shift online during the shelter in place, is we created a directory. So if you go to oaklandindiealliance.com, you can actually see our virtual Main Street where you can find links to different businesses, including restaurants, bars, retailers, to see how you can actually support our businesses by buying gift cards or ordering takeout, which is always a fun way to support your local business owners.
Sure.
Or it's contribute to Indiegogo. So that was the first pass that we did to help our small business owners and actually help put money directly into their businesses. We've since moved more into our advocacy role. And so we are working with the Mayor's Economic Recovery Council, and we're actually leading the Phase 2 reopening group to help guide what the city provides in the way of requirements so that we can actually help support our small businesses. And this looks like a few different things. Part of it is making sure that we are providing sort of standard safety protocols to protect both our employees and our customers. And then the other thing that we're doing is helping to figure out how we can use our public spaces and use things like slow streets to be able to actually bring our businesses outside and be able to enjoy some of the summer while helping to support our businesses who are going to be running with a lower seating capacity.
Yeah, and just for people who are watching who are not familiar with the Bay Area or what slow streets is, it's, the city of Oakland came in and they said, we want to shut down some streets that are, not very high traffic areas. We can shut them down only for pedestrians, only for cyclists, because there's not a lot of traffic on the roads right now. So at this point, they just want to focus on getting the pedestrians and cyclists a safe space. And so they call it this slow streets program. But you guys are talking about taking those areas and possibly having outside, right? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been working really closely with the mayor's office, with the Department of Transportation, Economic Development, to be able to help our businesses be able to put cafe seating outside of their businesses on the sidewalks for streets where it makes sense, potentially like 3rd Street in Jack London or 19th Street in Uptown, having full street closures and being able to bring all of the businesses outside. So we've actually, through the downtown business improvement district, we've worked with the architecture firm ArcSign, who's also a local independent business in Oakland, to come up with some imagery of what it could look like to bring our businesses out into the public realm.
Okay, let's see if I can share my screen here so we can give people an idea of what exactly that we're talking about. This is the ArcSign PDF that you guys sent us over, just to give some people perspective. This is kind of downtown Oakland, right near Lake Merritt, right? So what are we looking at here with the numbers? What do those numbers represent?
So these are some areas that have street closures or potential areas that have already been identified as slow streets. So these are opportunities where we have nice clusterings of a lot of small businesses that we can bring outside. But if you advance to the next ones, we actually can show you potentially what something like 19th could look like if we were to bring some outdoor seating to the public realm. So we know that as our businesses reopen with social distancing, they're going to need to keep 6 feet apart from each of our customers. And so that means we're going to be running at a reduced capacity, knowing that especially our restaurant folks already run on really thin margins on a good day. We want to be able to increase their seating capacity so we give them the best chance of recovery.
Is this the right graphic that we're looking at here?
Yeah, absolutely. So this, I think, was a model of what it could potentially look like to set up queuing for folks to be able to bring service just directly to the storefront, rather than having to have people funnel in and out and have that circulation. This is what it could look like to offer outdoor seating. And you'll notice, some of these tables are shown as 6 feet apart to be able to service different customer groups and keep them all safe.
Okay, I'm going to advance to the next slides here. Is this one? We'll keep going. This one is interesting because it looks like there's partitions between people at like inside of a restaurant or a cafe.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is one of the things that they're looking at as a potential to just be extra safe with our customers. And our employees. I think we're really sensitive to the fact that COVID is something that we are going to be dealing with for a while. And so we want to look at as many innovative design approaches that we can in terms of providing, separation, distancing, and helping people follow the best safety protocols.
Okay, I'm going to say, oh, that's it. That's the last one. And then there was also this image here. This is for Jack London Square. And what exactly are we looking at here? How would this plan work?
So I think I'm seeing something slightly different from yours.
Oh, okay.
But for Jack London, we have this really great 3rd Street that has lots of places for people to socialize, including Minimo, Federation Brewing. And because that street has so many great small businesses that encourage people to linger and hang out, one thought is that Jack London could actually bring most of their seating outside. So it would feel a little bit more like a festival or, something that's activating our streets. I think one thing that we're really trying to be careful about is, bringing people together, knowing that they want that social connection. We're all, after 2 months of being inside, really desperate to find our community again. And we want to make sure we're giving people, the space to be able to safely do that.
Are you seeing the screen that says brainstorming what streets could look like at 3rd and Broadway?
I'm seeing something I'm still seeing the arc sign one.
Okay, let me make sure. Let me stop sharing here. And then let me see if I can bring this up somehow because I want people to see kind of what exactly you were talking about. If I share the screen, I wonder if it's because, oh, here we go. How's this? Is this better?
Perfect, yes.
Okay, go ahead and talk us through that one more time. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Just to kind of show us.
So what we're seeing here on 3rd Street is a great opportunity for Jack London to potentially bring their small businesses out into the public right of way. So we have Oakland Grill, we have Federation Brewing, we have Minimo, a great wine shop, Dragon Gate. These are all small local businesses that we really want to help support. And so rather than giving that space to cars, we want to give them to people. And it's also a really fantastic way for us to be able to support our small business owners, but with the expanded right away for our business owners. It means that we're able to encourage people to be a part of their community, to have some time outside, to get that connection while staying safe. Because I think ultimately for our small businesses, we want to make sure that we're taking care of everyone.
Do you feel like there's a sense of optimism among businesses? I know a lot of them are struggling, and like you said, the PPP loans have helped, but they may have not, they're running out of money or they don't help them completely. Some of them are forced to close down, some of them in danger not even of opening again. But do you think that there's some optimism as we get closer to the economy slowly reopening?
I think there is some. There are a few sort of bright spots that I see as far as our business community. We've been able to really come together at this time, working with firms like ArcSign, working with the Jack London bid, Downtown Oakland bid, bringing all the chambers together. We've been able to actually work more collectively. I think that's something that our small business community has wanted for so long, to have some cohesion. And I think if there is any, silver lining from this situation, it's definitely that we have all come together as one community to work in lockstep. I think we're also seeing that our businesses are really getting front row we're getting a seat at the table, especially with the mayor's office, and which I'm super glad that we're a part of, to be able to help drive what outdoor seating looks like, to be able to let the city know directly what we need. It's been such a fantastic opportunity for us to work with economic development and with Department of Transportation to let them know what things they can do that are, simple, low cost, but impactful, that will really support our small business community.
Have any of them said, okay, this is a business model that's probably going to be permanent outdoor, or do you feel like, this is just temporary?
I think there is some appetite for folks keeping some of these things outdoors. Oakland did have a parklet program maybe 5 years ago that we've launched. And I think this will be a really nice opportunity for folks to be able to have permanent seating outside. I think we have sort of a range of businesses when it comes to how they'll take advantage of this outdoor seating opportunity. Some folks will probably, put furniture outside, sort of lighter weight interventions. And I'm sure we'll see some folks who really have been wanting to do this for a long time actually put permanent parklets in place.
Do you feel like something like this is much more cost effective, or it's more expensive to do something like this? I mean, I wouldn't even know.
It's kind of we're not sure yet. I think that's the beauty of having us all work together. There is some efforts underway to figure out how the bids can apply for economic development agency grants to be able to actually provide some of the street furniture directly to our business owners. Same thing from the city. We're looking into getting PPE to our business owners and to their staff for free. So there's a lot of efforts around, making sure that this is an equitable recovery and that we're reaching businesses who maybe haven't always been well-resourced. We've partnered with like the Black Cultural Zone, a bunch of the ethnic chambers, including the Vietnamese Chamber, Chinatown Chamber, to make sure that the folks who need it most and are being impacted pretty heavily are also getting the support that they deserve.
So basically you're saying in the past, they haven't gotten the support they need to survive.
I think it's been a challenging experience. I think there's been a lot of different efforts for folks to try to help our small business community, but there hasn't been such a clear communication channel. And so I think the beauty of what's happened right now is that we are all at the table and we're having regular check-ins. We're really working in lockstep to help the recommendations that come from the small business community rather than top down.
Okay, and then my last question just comes about the model that you guys are working on. So you're working on these outdoor models, social distancing, 6 feet apart, tables, the partitions, all of these things. Oakland isn't the first city to propose doing something like this here in the Bay Area. We've, Berkeley's talking about it, San Jose's talking about it. Have you guys had anybody reach out to you from other parts of the country? Like, hey, what are you guys doing? We're interested, help us out here, anything like that?
We actually have had someone from the Central Valley reach out to us to say, we saw Oakland Indie Alliance. We're really excited to have an alliance similar for our small businesses. So we actually have had that. But we've been looking at other innovative models in places like Tampa or Helsinki to see how we don't necessarily have to recreate the wheel, but we can kind of take the best bits and pieces that will be the right fit for Oakland and for our sort of unique community.
Okay, sounds good. Any final thoughts here before we wrap up? If there's somebody out there watching that has a small business, or somebody who is just, passionate about their favorite restaurant or their shopping store, anything that you would say to them?
Yeah, I would say now is the time to show your small businesses your support. We really, in so many ways, are a huge part of the social fabric for our small business community. I mean, we are the people who love feeding you. We are the people that you see when you get coffee. We're part of your community. And so I'd encourage folks to make sure that if you want to see it once shelter in place is over, support them now. Buy a gift card, order takeout from them, do what you can to actually put money directly in the businesses that you love, because we're really excited to be able to come back. We know that things will look different on the other side, but we think that if we can all kind of pull together, there's a possibility that Oakland comes back a strong, vibrant place.
Any idea or any hint as to when Oakland might start opening outdoor dining?
It's a tricky situation because we are really following the lead of the Alameda Health Department. And so they're following some key indicators to make sure that they're prioritizing a safe reopening. And until we hit those indicators for folks to have lower COVID cases, having expanded testing, until we're able to do that, we're not sure that it's going to be safe. And so it's really dependent on what the county sees from the data that's going to drive the decision.
Sure. Okay. Thank you so much, Ari Takata Vasquez. I appreciate your time with the Oakland Indie Alliance. And thank you guys for joining us today. Our coverage is always on at coronavirusnow.com. And thank you for your time. We always appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.